Let's talk about physical attraction. Welcome back to the Relationships Made Simple for Men podcast with me, Bryce Bauer. I wanted to cover this today because, in my experience, physical attraction is something that is on most men's minds. If you're single, you're probably trying to find a partner that you're attracted to. If you're in a relationship, you're probably trying to increase the ways in which you're attracted to your partner and they're attracted to you. Attraction is that chemistry, it's that spark, that feeling of wanting to see and be with somebody. Who doesn't want that? However, I do see many men struggle with creating a relationship that has this. And there's so much to talk about that I almost don't know where to start. So let's just start from the very beginning. What did you learn about attraction as you were growing up, even before you had any interest in sexuality and physical attraction? You were picking up on messages. If you are a straight man in this world, you received a lifetime of conditioning, plus whatever primal intuitions you came into this world with. That stuff is real, and I don't want to discount it. We really can't just wipe our hard drive and start from scratch. But what we can do is look at the messages we were given, question them, while also holding our natural desires. There's also a reality to our stage of life and what we're wanting. Most people enter into their first committed relationship in their teens and 20s. Most people end up having kids and want kids. So if you're a young man looking out into the world, you're probably less likely to want to date someone who's much older than you. If you're 25, women that are 30 and above might not be on your radar by the time you start dating, propose, get married, set up your life together. She might be approaching 35, which is considered a geriatric pregnancy. And this might make sense for you at any age if you want children. We all have a sense that the clock is ticking for women if we want that experience. What ends up getting coupled together is usually some type of look that we've been conditioned to aspire to attain in a partner, mixed with our natural inclinations, which is added into our understandings of youth and fertility. That's like the chemistry. And what do you get? You get the bikini model on the magazine cover. And on top of that, you want her to be fun, laid back. Basically, you want an easy relationship. If you're 30 or older, you've been in a relationship for 2 or more years, and you're at least a little informed on relationships, you've probably realized that this is a fantasy. I'm not saying that you can't have a partner who you're super attracted to and with whom you develop an amazing life with. The fantasy that I'm talking about is the easy part, that you can meet someone that you're really attracted to and have fun with and then just coast, or that you keep changing out your partners in hopes of finding one that's easy. There's a reality to how you set your priorities up. And I can speak from experience. I learned this the hard way. Prior to meeting Jenny, I was in a few long-term relationships. My top priorities were attractive or hot, then fun and easy, and then maybe having some direction in life, just a little bit. It didn't need to be much. How did that work out? Well, the beginning of the relationships were always awesome. They were like a drug. Lots of attraction, sex, fun activities, good conversation. Time just melted away. We couldn't get enough of each other. Fast forward 6 months, a year, conflicts start to arise. Rose-colored glasses begin to clear. Oh, we're fighting. I don't know if I can trust her. I start feeling like I want to bail. Wait, what's the plan for our life? I don't know if she can take care of herself. Like a lot of men, I fell into the savior role. I didn't really realize this at the time, but I mostly dated women with daddy issues, meaning they had absent or abusive fathers. And so I became the emotional rock. It can be cringy to look back on. I don't think I was a great partner. And I can see the subtle manipulation that comes with that type of setup. I was really looking for women that would become attached to me, not leave, so that I was in more control. And the bottom line is, these relationships did not work out. Maybe you can relate to some of that. they usually ended in the same way. I had to break it off with them. I came to realize that they were not great long-term partners. And to be fair, I was not a great long-term partner at that point in my life either. I could have gotten married, had kids, and been one of those couples that comes in to see me and Jenny 10 years down the road. There's nothing wrong with that. Luckily, I was able to figure some things out on my own as a single person and find a partner that was the exact opposite of what I had been looking for. I wanted to find a partner who had their shit together. And when I met Jenny, I got more than I bargained for. Fun fact, Jenny is 9 years older than me. So throughout the course of our now 11-year relationship, I've been really challenged to grow up. And that doesn't mean that you have to find someone older than you to grow yourself up. That's just my story. Circling back to the attraction piece, it's really important that we unravel the stories we were told about what we should be attracted to. If you're looking at the biggest investment of your life, we're talking 40, 50, 60 years, much longer than a mortgage and much higher stakes, then the biggest questions to be asking are they going to be there for me when it matters? Do they know how to communicate effectively? Do they know how to take care of themselves? Do they add some spice to the mix? Are they able to challenge us by standing up for themselves? Those are the big questions that matter. I'm in a personal men's group now with a few friends, and one of the guys has been bringing up that he sometimes doesn't feel attracted to his fiance. And I can feel so annoyed when I hear him talk about this because she checks all the other boxes. And the frustration isn't really directed at him, it's directed at the system. How fucked up is this? That we were taught to idolize an image versus caring about who someone is as a person and how they love us. That is sad. And I really feel for all couples that have fallen into this trap because women have their own conditioning too. And it causes both people to feel less than and unlovable. This is why porn has such a big impact on our society because it teaches boys and men to objectify women as sexual objects, as arm candy, as tag-alongs that increase our status and feed our ego. Now, I'm not saying this is all men when I say us. This is partially a rant against the manosphere philosophy that many young men are succumbing to. And it's also a call to the mature men that are probably listening to this podcast and still need to shake some of this off. Maybe not all of it. That might be an impossible task, but to continue to look at it. Where does this show up in my life? Do I objectify my partner based on their looks? Do I set expectations that have nothing to do with who they are as a person? And is there any way that I feed this narrative around what women should be? Jenny was recently running a women's retreat here in St. George, and I was taking care of all the back end stuff, the food and the planning. It was actually really fun to have her lead and me be the supporter in the background. But anyways, I came down one night and led a meditation for the women. And then afterwards, I was asking them, how was that for you? Some said it was relaxing. Some had some ahas based on the prompts I was giving. And as I was receiving some of their gratitude, I offhandedly mentioned that I can feel intimidated, probably not as much as they were imagining, but still a little intimidated and nervous to be in this sacred circle of women where I'm the only man. And one of the women spoke up and was like, well, you must be a feminist. And it kind of caught me off guard because I don't like the term feminist. I don't really know what it means. And I don't know what other people think it means. Yeah, I think that women should be given the same opportunities as men. And I think there are differences worth acknowledging. I'm probably more of a relational libertarian. You get to decide how you want to set up your relationship. If you want it to be traditional, go ahead. Open relationship, go for it. I think there are inherent problems with both of those that I could speak to, but it's up to you. I think an egalitarian relationship works much better. But but it also depends on what you want out of your life. It's totally possible to be a serial monogamist, trading out your partners every so often. It's also possible that you might struggle with the same person for your entire life. We have had clients like that. Or you could create an amazing relationship. That might be one of the highlights of your life. But no matter what happens, if you want to learn and grow as a person, pay attention. Learn from the person that's in front of you. Look in the mirror as much as you can. And if physical attraction is the only thing getting in the way, the emotional attraction's there are no major health concerns due to their inability to take care of themselves, stuff like that. If it's just the physical attraction piece, I think that's something you have to look at. And that's something that most men are not going to call out. They're going to go along with the story. Oh yeah, she seems great, but if you're not attracted to her, move on. That smells like bullshit to me if you're on the growth path. The reality is that our partner will get older. That's life. They will look different. They'll look less and less like the model on the magazine. They could get sick, get cancer, lose their hair. And if your attraction is so fragile that that would be a reason to leave or cheat on them or emotionally cut them off, you're probably not in a real romantic relationship. You're in a business partnership, and that's fine. But let's not pretend that it's something that it isn't. Well, as I'm slowing down here, I'm realizing that I'm getting slightly amped up, probably like a 3 out of 10. I'm really trying to confront something that matters to me. Of course, some of it's my own stuff, and some of it is this stupid ass patriarchy garbage that we've been fed for so long. Guys, we need to figure women out. We can't keep judging them as too emotional, unable to lead, just pretty things that sit on the sidelines. That's a recipe for disaster in marriage, and it will be a disaster for our world. Think about it. If there's one thing that will destroy us, our entire world, it's a few men on a power trip, unable to self-reflect. Mic drop. That's it for today. If you like what I have to say, share this with other men or women. You might get some brownie points if you listen to this with your partner, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this. It really helps. I'll see y'all next week.